Hi, this is David Newton speaking. Today I'm sharing with you part 2 of the interview that I had with Scott Bywater on how to boost your seminar or webinar attendance. Now let's listen in to what he has to say. Okay, I know that you've talked before, Scott, about doing this in the seminar space. Can you give me a few examples of how you work in that area?
Yeah, so in terms of the seminar space, you've really got, I'd call it the event space. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you've got online events, which is like your webinars and that sort of thing, and then you've got your offline events, which is obviously live events. And most of the events I've done stuff with, I work with some of the leading events companies particularly in Australia. I've worked with some events companies over in the US as well, but particularly in Australia. And really, the model which tends to work best is like to run the events for free, and then have a product that you're selling at the end of that. Which might be sort of if it's a live event, it might be $2,000 to $5,000 or something price point that you're selling that at the completion of that event. Now let's say for an online event, like if I was running a webinar, the way I would do it is 2 to 3 emails within a week of the webinar. Really, the closer you can go to the webinar, the better. Because if you book that event out, like if you register for an online event 3 weeks before the actual event, by the time it comes around, you've pretty much forgotten about it. So you might get more registrants by doing a bit of a build up, but you'll probably get less that actually show up. So, and that's quite a simple model with your online events. You've got 3 to 4 emails that go out beforehand, probably 2 to 4 emails that go out beforehand. Then you have there's one thing to get people to register, another thing to get people to show up. So after they register, you need the reminders going out to actually show up. And then after they show up, you're going to get a lot more sales if you then have a follow-up sequence after they show up as well, to then to seal the deal, so to speak.
And how often do people use the follow-up? Because I've noticed a lot of places don't necessarily do that. They don't necessarily do any follow-up afterwards. Other than maybe a phone call or two, and that's about it, and then you don't hear from them at all. And really you want a whole email series that goes out afterwards to get them to take that next step. Most people don't do it, and I think it's like trade shows, right? People spend 10 grand to go to a trade show, and they bring all their staff along and everything like that. Oh, too right. Yeah, they might even spend 30 grand if they're buying a corner spot, maybe. So
they're
very generous.
They're spending a small fortune to do it, and they'll get like 300 or 400 really good leads at that. And then those 300 or 400 leads will go in in some desk somewhere and never see the light of day. And there's literally hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting in that, but they don't get follow-up, right? They don't get follow-up emails, they don't get follow-up phone calls, they don't get any follow-up. Same with webinars, same applies. You go to all this effort to host a webinar, why wouldn't you at least follow those people up properly? But most people don't, right? And then it's exactly the same process with a live, except you've got it's a bit more of a commitment with live, right? Because you've actually got to you've actually got to go somewhere, rock up, all of that sort of thing. So what you'll find with a live event is your conversions will tend to be higher than with let's say a webinar, but it'll be harder to actually get people to go there, sort of thing. So and obviously the experience of a live event is, I don't think you can beat it. The vibe at a live event is amazing.
True, because they've got the networking there. They can actually meet the person that is promising to maybe even answer a few of their problems, questions, or whatever at the actual event.
Yes, 100%.
So a little bit of awestruckness there, and but also the burning need to. I've finally got the chance to ask that burning question. I've got blah blah blah.
Yes, 100%. So you've got all of these sort of things are going through is what makes a live event different. It's just it's like the example I gave before about the 30 pieces of content, right? Well, how do you deliver 30 pieces of content Like you imagine in like an hour or in a day, right? So what live events do, and the reason why they speed up the sales process is because it allows you to just have it to do all of that really fast. Like if you spend a day with someone, I mean, let's say it takes you 3 minutes to absorb one piece of content, right?
Yeah.
3 to 5 minutes. Well, if I'm spending 8 hours with you, well, that's like absorbing 80 pieces of content. Yeah. So the trust, the relationship, all of that, and I've actually made the effort to take a day off work or home or something to be there. So I'm already pre-committed. So all of that really encourages the acceleration of the sales.
It's not only an expression of interest. It's like saying, "Hey, look, I took the whole day off for you."
Yes, yeah, 100%. It's not like you've sent a Facebook lead ad, right? And you've clicked it, it's auto-populated, and you've clicked subscribe, which takes like 2 seconds. It's like, no, I've taken 8 hours to be here, type of thing. So
probably hired the babysitter and
yes,
put the cat out and everything.
100%. Like it's like there's other things they could have been doing with their time. So it's a real show of commitment. So if you want to speed up the sales process, and I know people have built $100 million companies with that simple model, is get them to a webinar, get them to a seminar. That's basically the model. Run ads, get them to a webinar or seminar, and
build a relationship over that 1 day seminar, webinar, event, whatever.
Yep. Build
a deep relationship, and then out of that, maybe not all of those people, but a fairly large portion will at least buy something. Even if they're not buying the top product, they might buy some consolation products along the line.
Yeah, so you're gonna if you can do that, it will definitely speed up that sales process. And I think it can apply to virtually any business, like the whole events thing. Like people think, oh, it's only coaching, consulting, all of that sort of thing. No, not really. Like if you're selling, let's say, a commercial product. Let's say you're selling even Bunnings, right? Bunnings runs events these days. If you go into a Bunnings store, they'll say, hey, we've got this hardware event, or we got this event on how to
make a back porch or something.
That sort of thing. So any business, like if you sell dishwashers or commercial photocopiers or anything like that, your customers have questions, and the beautiful thing about an event is it's much easier for someone to put their hand up, because there's not this intimidation factor of they're going to be sold to.
Yeah, dead right. They can ask a question without feeling like there's a bunch of people around them with a pile of paper, and they're going to sign them up to the dotted line.
Yes, It's like the general process is like with events. Like if it's a live event, you'll generally go at the end and go, okay, if you want to join, go to the back of the room, and then you have people at the back of the room who can sign them up, sort of thing.
Yeah.
With an online event, you can do that. So you've got two options. You can do that where you just go in and they can pay straight away, or you can book, or you can do like an appointment close, where someone books an appointment, but by the time they book that appointment, they're a very qualified appointment over just coming from a Facebook ad and booking straight in.
Yeah.
Because they've actually gone, bang, I'm booking, I've spent an hour with you, I've registered, I've spent an hour with you, and now I'm booking an appointment.
Yeah.
So your close rate on that call, therefore, is going to be a lot higher, and you don't have to have as good a sales team just because they've absorbed that 30 pieces of content.
And the sad thing is, I've noticed with some companies out there, because I've worked around the marketing area a fair bit over the time, and yet some of them still treat, when they've done some of these face-to-face events, they still treat those people as annoying and taking up their time for some reason or other, rather than looking upon as, hey, look, these people have taken a lot of trouble out of their day to even be here. So they still take it for granted, which is ridiculous.
No, exactly. And time is our most important asset, right? That's ultimately, time is the number one asset. So if someone invests time with you, that's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the reason why you look at books, right, as an example.
Yeah.
Like the reason why why writing a book is such a good idea is it's the same concept. Writing a book is like having someone absorb 30 or more pieces of your content in one day.
That's right.
So, in one go, should I say.
So, what's this particular report that you've got that you are giving away free to my viewers?
Yeah, thanks, David. So the report I've got and the example I just gave with this headline is actually featured in the report, and it shows more examples of exactly how to use it. But that's just one of the headline hacks. There's actually 101 headline hacks in this report, and I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep it available for. Eventually, I want to turn it into a coffee table book. So if anyone
Perfect.
wants that, and they're as one of your viewers, they can.
So we'll have the
download
links
it.
we'll have the links below in the description box. Yep.
Yep.
And they can simply join up there, and off they go. Okay.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
Tremendous. Thank you once again, Scott, for being here for the interview about how to improve your marketing. And these are the skills you do need to learn. So Scott will be appearing in other future episodes. In the meantime, this is David Newton speaking with Scott. And remember to please like and subscribe so you can get a hold of more content like this that we put out all the time. This is David Newton speaking. Bye for now.
Bye.